Yo, what's good YouTube? Today I just want to go over an updated Encore guide now that we're kind of like in that mid game. This character, now that I obviously haven't maxed out her level, obviously we're not high enough for that, but I've maxed out her echoes and her talents for where we are in the game. And this character, when I go and fight anything now, obviously except for fire bosses, she legit just destroys the game. Like, I'll put gameplay in the back, but like, bro, like this, like, I'm just beating bosses in 0.2 seconds with her. Like, it is insane, man. And the thing is I say that, but the thing is, when I run her, I'm only running her and Verena. Like, obviously I always have a third on my team just to have there, but I'm always just running her and Verena. I go into battle, I swap into Verena, get the buff, swap into Encore, and then just kill everything. Like, at most, I'll put in a Jean Shin so I can get her shields and some little bit of group up, and that's really it. But it's like, bro, that's what I'm saying. It's like, she's this good without a third support. In the future, when we get a third support, or maybe even like a sub DPS like Yinlin, maybe we could fit that into her kit. I don't know. But like, this character is just, she really does just do so much damage. And in my opinion, even though I don't think she's on the same level as like Gian, right? Obviously him, Yinlin, and like Verena are gonna be on different levels, but it's like, I really do think she's like the next best thing. Like, you're gonna have her like right below her, which obviously every tier list in my almost has her there, but at the same time they have her on the same tier as Calcharo, which in my opinion Calcharo is good, but in my opinion she's just better than Calcharo. Like, in my opinion, if you were to have like how like everyone has like the 0.5 tier list, I'd put, obviously, like, you have 0.5, 1, and a 1.5. I'd put her in that 1, and then 0.5 I'd have like Gian, and then at 1 I'd have like Calcharo. Like, I'm gonna show you and go over my build in a second and explain everything to y'all, but like, once y'all see my echoes, this character is nowhere near as kitted out and as fully built as she should be. Like, I just put on some echoes that I got lucky with and just like, okay, cool, whatever it rolls, I put it on her. Especially with how hard fusion damage bonus to get on this specific set is to do in this game. Like, I farmed for hours upon hours upon hours to finally get the fusion damage bonus, and even then I only got one. The only other one I got was from the battle pass. So anyways, let's go over it. In my last video, I think I was running the Jiansho Keeper, but I was able to get this from the battle pass, the augment one. It gives me some crit rate and some attack percent once I use Resonance Liberation, which obviously for her was very important. So obviously this was a massive increase just for the stats alone, and obviously everything you get from it. So it's like, even though Jiansho Keeper, aside from this, the augment and the 5-star is her next best in slot, in my opinion, it's like a very big margin in between, but both are still good. So, and then after that, if you don't have any of those for 3 stars, there's quite a few. You can run Guardian, Receptor, Voyager, but most of them are good for her, basically. And then for the main thing, relics, obviously fusion damage bonus, Molten Rift 5 piece is going to be your best in slot. If you've seen how much I had to farm Inferno Rider just to get a better crit damage piece, and for it to be nowhere near as good as better, like the last one was garbage. It's an increase because I get the Resonance Liberation damage bonus, but this is a piece that's like, if it rolled crit rate and crit damage, I would have this till the rest of the game, because Resonance Liberation damage bonus and skill damage bonus is massive on her, because that's like her most important part of her kit. Like, that's the main thing you're like spamming. So this piece overall is okay. Once again, it doesn't have crit rate, crit damage, but aside from that, these two rolls right here are just insane. So it's an okay piece. These pieces are like, they're good. The only thing I'm missing from these pieces to make them like insane is, once again, a Resonance Liberation damage bonus. If I rolled this on this piece right here, it would perfect piece. Once again, I rolled a few cost ones because they're just easier, obviously, farm, and I just got them over time. So this, once again, was this good. And then you have this one's okay. Once again, crit rate, crit damage, great. Obviously it's a low crit damage roll, but it is what it is. And then after that, obviously, I didn't roll Resonance Liberation damage bonus or skill or even basic attack or even heavy attack. So overall, like, if I roll this to 25, which I will later once I get enough XP, because I have 0 XP, I've sunk all of it into this character and by Calcharo, but still, yeah. But once I 25 this, if this rolls Resonance Skill Liberation damage bonus, or skill or basically damage bonus, whichever, or if it rolls either, I'd say it's a good piece. So these are obviously really good. And then you have my three. These took, you don't understand how long it took me to get 2 fusion damage bonus. And even then, like I said earlier, one of them I got from the battle pass, and the other one I had to go farm for like hours upon hours, and I'm at whole, you don't even understand the pain that I just went through to get this. And then for it to roll this shit, like, do you see this? Like, defense garbage, HP percent garbage, energy regen on hers okay, it's fine, right? But then after that, crit rate, great. It's a high crit rate roll too, and that's it. Heavy attack damage bonus is actually good in my opinion on her, just the fact if you play her right, because I didn't learn this until like yesterday or the day before, to actually play her and do her heavy attack damage bonus to get her maximum damage potential. But once you know how to do that shit, her damage becomes even better. I'll show it later once I'm breaking down her whole kit and how to do her playstyle when you're fighting bosses, but this is for good, this is good, the rest of it's, yeah, it's not that good. This piece, you get her skill damage bonus, which like I said earlier is insane. Crit damage roll, it's a garbage low crit damage roll, but it's whatever, we'll take it. And then once again, the heavy attack damage bonus, good. But it's just these defense and HP, bro. If this just will crit rate in her heavy, like there's so much damage I'm missing because out of my 5 relics or echoes, only one of them has Resonance Liberation damage bonus. So if I were to get that on every single piece, the amount of damage increase that I'm getting, like that's at least like what, if I come here, this gives me 10%. So if I were to get that on every single piece, that's like 40% damage bonus I'm missing for my ult, which is her main kit. So as I already went over this, it's whatever, it's okay. Like I was saying, she does this so much, the amount of damage that I'm showing without better echoes. Like these echoes are so mid. There's like 1 or 2 that are good, really good. That's really it. My talents maxed out everything. Every single thing is here is maxed up. So obviously once we get up here, shouldn't do even more damage. It's just, yeah, this took a little bit to get, but it's just, yeah, it's worth it in my opinion. I mean, her whole entire kit, you're gonna be doing everything here. Like the one thing I'd say here is like basic attacks, probably the one thing you don't have to level, but I do use it a lot whenever I'm just killing mobs around the world, so I don't have to use my ult on them. So it just comes in handy. Overall, the rest of the 4 though are really important because that's her whole entire kit. Just this entire thing is just really good to use. So once again, even her forte circuit, I talked about it in my last guide video on her. I talked about how the one problem I had over his kit was her heavy attack. Her heavy attack now is like, I'm gonna show this right now because it's just insane, man. If you play her right, this forte circuit is just massive to upgrade, which is insane because it's like a complete 180 from my last video where I was like, it's not that good. It's garbage. It takes too long, whatever. And then obviously it's 0, right? So, but anyway, let's get into it. So basically, when you're playing her, there's 2 ways to play her. It really depends what you're fighting, because if you're fighting a boss that's it's gonna be easy to kill, then there's a different way to play her compared to the boss that is gonna take you a minute. I'll go over the boss that's easy to kill first, which the way you play the boss that's easy to kill is you go into the battle with Verena, you pop everything, you do her ult, her skill, her echo, so you can get the damage bonus from the turtle, and then you intro skill into your Encore, and then once you intro skill into her, you skill before you ult, and then you do your echo, and then you ult, and then you hit your skill, and then you just spam basic attacks, blah 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 blah, and then keep spamming your skill off cooldown, and then you should be able to get 3 skills off cooldown before it goes out. And then as soon as you hit that 3rd skill, you hit like 1 or 2 basic attacks, boom, you skill again because you get out of your state, your skill resets. And then once your skill resets, you heavy attack immediately after you finish popping it, and then you intro skill into your Verena to get all your buffs back up, and then you switch back into your Encore, and then you do, that's like, it's just because when you heavy attack and then switch off of her, she stays on the field and finishes the heavy attack. So it's just massive AoE damage, and you don't even have to pop her because you can just be off this field popping all your buffs to go back into her to continue doing massive damage. It's just an insane combo with her and Verena. Yeah. And then when you're fighting bosses that you're not going to take a minute, it's kind of the same rotation, but instead of starting the battle with Verena, you start the battle with Encore, where you go in, you pop her skill, then you pop her echo, and then you intro skill into your Verena, you pop all your buffs, and then you intro skill back into your Encore, and once you intro skill back into your Encore, you pop her skill again, her skill again, and then you pop into your ultimate, you do the exact rotation again, and then once you get to the heavy attack, you switch off and you just keep repeating that. The only difference is you just basically have to start the battle with Encore, just do her skill and her echo. So once you switch onto Verena, once you switch back onto Encore again, you can just pop her skill again, and you just basically get a bunch of free damage. So yeah, like I was saying, overall this character is insane, and in my opinion is my favorite character to play, and one of my best damage dealer on my account, because I haven't really built my Gion perfectly, and he's not really a character in my opinion that's gonna be like insanely broken until endgame where we get the perfect build. So for now, I just love using her. She's just insane. Let me know if any of this helped you, and yeah, thanks for watching, and let me know if you're gonna build her.